Hi everyone, welcome back to day 3 of the 28 knitting challenge for beginners. I'm Marianna and today we're talking about a fundamental skill every knitter needs to know, casting on. The cast on is the foundation of every project. It's how you get your stitches on the needles to you, so you can start knitting. In this video, I'll show you to cast on using the long tail method, which is one of my favorite techniques for beginners. It's quick, versatile, and creates a clean edge that works well for so many projects. Before we dive in, here's what you'll need. Knitting needles. For this tutorial, I'm using size 8 US or 5mm needles, which are great for beginners. Yarn. A worsted weight yarn works beautifully for this practice. Measuring tape and scissors. If you're following along with this challenge, you probably already have your tools ready. If you're not, don't worry, just grab whatever you have and let's get started. So, what makes the long tail cast on so special? This technique creates a neat edge that's perfect for most projects, especially those requiring some flexibility, like scarves, sweaters, or hats. It's called the long tail method because it uses a length of yarn called the tail, in addition to the working yarn. We'll use both to form the stitches. Don't worry if it sounds tricky, I'll walk you through it step by step. The first step is to measure your tail. A good rule of thumb is to leave for worsted weight yarn about 1 inch of yarn for every stitch you cast on, plus a little extra to be safe. For example, if you're casting off 30 stitches, you leave at least 30 inches of tail. Or you can also set aside 4 times the length of yarn as the final width of your project. For example, if you want to knit a scarf that's 10 inches wide, you set aside 40 inches of yarn to cast on. Once you measure your tail, make a slip knot to start. To make a slip knot, you create a loop with the tail over the working yarn, then pull the tail to the loop and place the slip knot on your needle and tie it on gently. Not too tight, as you want your stitch to slide easily. Now hold your needle in your right hand and position your yarn in your left hand like this. The tail goes over the thumb, and the working yarn goes over your index finger. Hold both strands securely in your palm with your other fingers. With everything in place, thumb and working yarn, let's start. Create a loop and bring your needle under your thumb, creating this loop. Then catch the working yarn, move the needle over to your index finger and grab the working yarn, and then pull it a little bit tight, not too much. Again, under, and you have a stitch. Let's do it again. Oh. Under the thumb, grab the working yarn and pull it through and tie them. See? You can get the handle of this and it will become smooth over time. keep going until you cast on the desired number of stitches. For this practice, let's try casting on just 20 stitches to start. Take your time, it's totally normal to fumble a little when you're learning. "20 stitches. Now, if your stitches feel too loose, try tightening them slightly as you cast on, like doing this. But don't pull too hard or they will not move. On the other hand, if your stitches are too tight, relax your grip on the yarn and make sure your movements are smooth and fluid. It's all about finding a balance that works for you. And remember, practice makes progress. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect right away. What matters is building confidence with each stitch. And there you have it, your very first stitches on the needle. Congratulations on learning the long tail cast on method. This is such an important step in your knitting journey, and you're off to a fantastic start. Tomorrow we will take the stitches and learn how to knit them. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss day 4. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment letting me know how was your first cast on. I love to hear about it. And happy knitting!